organism is a living thing. Organisms come in a variety of different forms. Despite their vast diversity, organisms share a few key characteristics. These slides will describe specifically two of these common characteristics. The first one is that organisms show different levels of organization. The second is that organisms regulate their internal environment. The term homeostasis describes the maintenance of a constant internal environment. Let's start with the first common characteristic, that organisms show different levels of organization. One level of organization exhibited by all organisms is that they are made of cells. This is one of the three basic principles that are part of the cell theory. However, there are many other levels of organization that are either smaller or larger than the level of the cell. These next few slides describe some of these levels of organization that are either smaller or larger than the cell. First, let's start off with the smallest levels of organization and work our way up to the level of the cell. Atoms are single units of substances that we call elements. Atoms can be joined together by different kinds of chemical bonds to form molecules. Carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, and nucleic acids are four examples of very large or macromolecules that are required for life. Molecules such as these four macromolecules can be assembled together to form small cell parts called organelles. A nucleus is an example of an organelle. Organelles are the internal structures that are found in many different types of cells. This diagram reviews the levels of organization from the atom to the organelle. Atoms, such as the hydrogen atom that is pictured here, are joined together by chemical bonds to form molecules. DNA is a macromolecule that consists of many atoms, including hydrogen ones. DNA is a molecule that is found in some cell organelles, such as the mitochondrion. Organelles are smaller internal structures that are found in eukaryotic cells. Now let's review some different levels of organization that are larger than a cell. Tissues are groups of cells that are working together to carry out a specific function. When two or more tissues are associated together to carry out a specific function, the structure that is formed is an organ. Organ systems are composed of groups of organs that are working together. Organisms, like animals, exhibit these larger levels of organization. This diagram reviews levels of organization larger than cells. Tissues are composed of groups of cells that are working together. An organ such as the stomach is made up of several different tissues. The stomach is part of an organ system called the digestive system. These three levels of organization, tissue, organ, and organ system, are part of a larger organism. Now let's focus on the second common characteristic of organisms, that they regulate their internal environment. Homeostasis describes the maintenance of the internal environment of an organism, even if there are changes occurring in the external environment. For example, your body is designed to regulate your body temperature so that it stays at a specific value. The maintenance of human body temperature is an example of negative feedback. Negative feedback is where an organism senses a change in its internal environment and temporarily adjusts the functions of its organ systems to return the internal environment to a specific set point. For example, when your body temperature goes below the set point, you will shiver to raise it. When your body temperature is raised too high, you will perspire to lower it. Positive feedback is where an organism senses a change in the internal environment but does not work to return that internal environment to a certain set point. Instead, the response to the change increases as time progresses. An example of this occurs during childbirth, where a woman's uterine contractions will increase in intensity until her child is delivered.